Hi everyone, this is Hiba from My Little Journal, and today I'm excited to be sharing a craft room tour with you. I haven't done one of these in a very long time, but I thought this was the perfect time to share a craft room tour because I got a new piece of furniture, which is really helping me out to have like a space for my office and a space for my crafting. So because I got a new piece of furniture, I had to move around some of my furniture and make it work for myself. Yes, my craft room looked like a tornado went through it, but it worked out and I got things done. And now I have a space for my office and a space for my crafting. Let's go ahead and start the tour. I did want to start by saying thank you to Flexispot for sponsoring this video and sending me the Kana bamboo standing desk. As I said earlier, I needed some space for my office. I didn't want to keep removing my laptop off my craft table and all that stuff. So having this adjustable desk was perfect for me. This is a fully electric desk with a control panel that you can adjust the height of your tabletop. This desk is also environmentally friendly, it's odor-free, and it's really easy to clean. And you guys, that bamboo, it's so smooth and luxurious. I love it. Now, Flexispot has different types of desks, different tabletops. I know this one, the Kana bamboo standing desk, probably has 2 different tabletops and 5 different sizes. So if this size doesn't work for your space, I definitely recommend to check out the link in the description box, because if you use that link, you do get a discount. And also if you purchase a desk from Flexispot around brand day, you get up to $200 off your purchase. Anyways, what I like about the control panel is it has 3 preset modes. So basically, if you're sharing your space with someone and you don't want to always guess what the last position you had your desk at, you can definitely preset it in the panel and basically click on that number and it will adjust the table to your favorite position. This desk also holds a lot of weight. You can see I have my printers on there, I have a laptop, iPad, even some craft supplies and office supplies, and it will move up and down smoothly. It's very quiet and none of the stuff I have on my desk moves or falls off, which is a plus for me. And as you can see here, it's very easy to control and move it up and down to adjust to your height, or if you're sitting down, you can move it down so you can sit on a chair and do your work. I'll come back around and share with you what I have on this desk and what I store underneath my desk. But I'm going to go ahead and start with our tour. And I'm going to start with these 2 cabinets that I used to create a division between my master bedroom and my craft room. I love this glass cabinet from IKEA. It's the perfect cabinet to store my Project Life albums. And this shorter cabinet is from Target. It's actually a TV stand. The back of it wasn't really pretty, so I just covered it with some wallpaper and it worked out perfectly. I love this cabinet because the drawers are pretty deep and you can store a lot in them. I use one of the drawers to store all my foiling things, and the other one holds all the stuff that I'm trying to purge or give away. And as you can see, it's really deep and you can store a lot in there. It has a shelf, and I also store my washi tape, chipboard, my color cast design stuff. I even have my die cut machines on there. That way it's out of the way, but if I want to use them, I can just pull them out and add them to the top of my cabinet. And on the top shelf, I have my typewriter and my tonic trimmer, which I say this all the time. I love my tonic trimmer. I've had it for years. It is perfection. So this gives me extra surface space for my craft room and extra storage. Moving back, on this opposite wall of my desk, I have a Calyx unit. I love the Calyx unit. It's a great way to store all the things, especially in a small space like this. I store my mini albums, stamps, inks, all the stuff goes into my Calyx unit. But I do love to have pretty things in my craft room. So you can see at the top shelf, I have all my little friends' Funko Pops and anything that means something to me, memorabilias, they go at the top shelf. And again, it's a great way to display your favorite things using your Calyx unit. Now, the top first shelves of my Calyx, I have loads of mini albums. And what I like about the Calyx is you can double up. So they actually are doubled up. So what you see is the first row, but I have a second row in the back. So all these mini albums are doubled up, and I've been crafting for such a long time that I need that storage, and it works perfectly. As you can see, I also store my Archer and Olive notebooks, my Hobonichi as well. Everything is stored in my Calyx. This year, I decided to store my traveler's notebooks, my older ones, in plastic containers underneath my bed to give myself some more space. So you can see here, I don't have a lot of traveler's notebooks on display, which is okay because I need that storage for other things. I also moved a lot of my stamp sets to my Calyx unit. I decided to give my craft space some space and remove the stamps off my desk. Because I switched around the furniture, now my stamps sitting in the Calyx is still at arm's reach, but off of my desk. This is how I store most of my stamps. I just use these plastic envelopes from Studio Calico to store my stamps in, and I divide my stamps now by theme. I used to divide them by brand, but this works really well. I've tried it and I love it, and I've been finding some older stamps that I haven't used for a long time by dividing them or changing up how I store my stamps by theme. And the containers that I use to store my stamps in are from Amazon. I did a little hack when I first got my Calyx. I removed that middle portion that creates two separate cubes. And once you remove that, it creates a larger shelf to store larger things like my 6x8 stamp sets. They are big containers and they will not fit into the cubes, but having the larger shelf really helps me add more stamps to that shelf, if that makes sense. And I love that idea. I got that hack from YouTube. Moving on, I have some stamps that I don't use all the time, so I decided to create a separate bucket for those stamps. So these are just stamps like traveling stamps, Halloween, things that you're not using year round and that they don't need to be stored next to me. So I created this little bucket with those types of stamps. I also store my traveler's notebook cover and my traveler's notebooks that I'm working on right now in this little cube. The next cube holds some older ink pads, my Nouveau drops, again, some photos and memorabilias. I love to display things like that. This is my happy place, so I want to see all the things that make me happy. The next cubes hold my papers. So this year I decided to trim down all my 12x12s to 4x8s. That way I can use them in my traveler's notebook. They're not taking up a lot of space. I don't use 12x12, so it made more sense to do that. I also have some extra Archer and Olive notebooks as well, and my mini traveler's notebooks. Next up is my acrylic organizers. I love these things. I've been using them for years, I've shared them for years, and they are my go-to way to organize my embellishments. These used to sit on my desk back in the day, but after reorganizing and changing up the format of my craft room, I decided to move them to my Calyx. They are still at arm's reach from my craft desk, but they are not taking up space on my craft desk. And if I want to grab one of these drawers, I can just pick it up and have it next to me while I'm crafting. Now, this last bottom portion of my Calyx holds nail polish, mixed media, old albums, and a lot of kits that are travel related. And I don't use it all the time, so they sit in that little box. So that's everything I store in my Calyx unit. I'm going to move back a little bit so you can see how close my Calyx is to my craft desk. It was a life changer. I'm so happy I changed up my craft room because it really helped remove a lot of that storage from my desk. Now, I wanted to mention that I changed my chair this year. My husband got me this new chair for my birthday and I love it. It's so comfy. I also wanted to mention that my craft desk is discontinued. I bought it years ago, but I love it because it's very deep and you can store a lot of stuff on the top. And also, it's a standing desk, so it's a plus for me. I store or I keep on my desk my favorite ink pads. As you can see, my close to my heart, Color Theory ink, Paper Person, and the Stamp Market. Those are my go-to ink pads. I also store my favorite stamps. Now, I moved my 3x4 stamps to my desk because I noticed that I haven't been using them. So I wanted to add them somewhere where I can see them and actually use them. And because I changed how I store my stamps by theme, it's been great because I can keep my favorites on my desk. So food stamps, currently stamps, alphas, date stamps, those are my go-to. So it's nice to have them close by when I need them. I also have this little shelving unit where I have my stamps in. That is from Wayfair. And again, it's a life changer because you can store upwards and give yourself some more storage. Again, because I'm so close to my Calyx, as you can see here, my other stamps are close by, so I can still use them. They're on display and they don't have to be sitting on my desk. My desk also has some storage on the side. I wasn't able to use that storage when my desk was facing my chalkboard wall, but now I can use that storage and I'm going to share it with you in a bit. But this is how I have my filming set up. I still use my iPhone. I always say this, you don't have to have fancy equipment to film good quality videos. So I just have a little tripod and some good lighting. Now, this is the side storage. It's hard to get to with a camera, but it's easy for me. I just store some markers, pens, my stamping pads. The desk also has two little cubes where I store like traveler's notebook covers, my mega date stamps. Sorry about the shakiness of the filming. It's just really hard to get to those. And also it has a large drawer that I store larger products like machines and things like that. So moving on, my desk also has two front drawers in a little cabinet, which I use to store more pens. These are my go-to pens, all my sticky notepads, and some extra pads that I need when writing down little notes. The second one holds all my punches and my mini trimmer. These are all the punches that I own. And the cabinet just holds the extras. So my label maker, I believe I store all my Studio Calico pouches in there. And as you can see, I have my little mini trash can hanging off of my little cabinet. I love that mini trash can. It's just perfect when I don't have big things to throw away. I just dump them in my mini trash bag or can, and then once a week I'll throw everything out. Now we're moving back to my little Kana bamboo desk. This is where I work. I do not craft on this desk, but I love the fact that I have that extra surface. I don't have to move my laptop off of my craft table when I have work. I used to do that where I would just flip-flop all the time, and this was perfect to have extra surface space and a space for me to work off of. I love my scrapbook.com craft tower. I emptied it out big time. I went through it and I cleaned it out, and that way I have more space. If I get something small or I need something on hand, I can add it to the empty shelves. But it holds all the things. It holds my favorite washi. I love those dot washies, extra scissors, erasers, my masking tape, even some nail polish. I do my nails on my craft desk. So this is a perfect little add-on to my craft room. This desk also holds my I think it's called Acrylics shelf. The Acrylics shelf has two drawers and it lifts a little bit where it gives you extra storage for your desk. I use that little shelf to hold my scrapbook.com organizers for my Project Life cards. And I do store my Project Life cards by brand. So you'll see Studio Calico, The Paper Person, Kaylee Perky, Feature Craft, my favorite shops. And the next one holds my die cuts, my large 6 by 12 stickers and chipboards, my Tim Holtz word sticker booklets, all the things go in that. These drawers hold extra ink pads. So if I have doubled up on any ink pads, it goes there. And my mini ink pads go in here. I'm not a big fan of mini ink pads because I'm a huge stamper and I feel like the mini ink pads don't cover quickly enough, but I still have a few and I use them from time to time. And underneath my little Alex shelf, I do store my scrap white paper and transparency paper. So if I have extras, it goes into that little plastic container. And as you can see, I have my laptop, my iPad, all the things, my printers on my desk. It's just the perfect little add-on to my craft room. Underneath my desk, I store my Alex drawers. I just have them labeled. So basically I store my dies. I purged my dies big time. This is all I have left. And it makes me so happy because now I use them more often. I also just store supplies like extra supplies, tools, and they are not clean and perfect. Believe me, I'm going to open one of these up. It's a mess in there, but it works. I can find what I need and we're good to go. But I love that I can store my Alex cabinet underneath my desk and out of the way. And to the left, you can see I have my We Are Memory Keepers storage tray. I love that thing. It holds all my ongoing projects. So they're not on my desk all the time. And when I want to work on a certain project, I just grab it and add it to my desk. My craft room tour is never complete without sharing my chalkboard wall. I love this wall. It brings me so much joy. I drew everything myself. I wrote everything myself. I just put it together and I really wanted something that adds character to my craft room. And this really, really did it for me. So I made sure to display things that make me happy, like being a part of the New York Times article about scrapbooking in kids. That was such a big moment for me, and I wanted to display that. Also, one of my favorite spreads of my kids. I framed that as well. My Arab dolls, those bring me so much joy. I got those when I went to Jordan. And of course, my friend's frame that frames my light switch. I did want to mention that I have a lot of wires underneath my desk and they're pretty ugly, but I did find something from Amazon and hopefully I'll get it soon and cover that up and make it all nice and pretty and organized. Anyways, you guys, that is my craft room. Before I wrap this up, I did want to recommend my go-to way to use my supplies is to have them out in the open where I can see them. That is something I always recommend. If they're sitting in a cabinet, believe me, you're not going to use it. You're going to forget about it. So have things out in the open. It's even better if you have them at arm's reach, if that is possible. It is really important to be able to see what you have because whatever is seen is going to be used. But that's about it, you guys. Don't forget, I'm going to be linking everything I use down in the description box for you. I will also be linking Flexispot if you are interested in their standing desks. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye.